How can a group get enough character conflict to make things interesting without reaching the point that the party splits or the situation becomes unplayably vicious?
Most of the time, having intra-party conflict doesn't really help anyone have a particularly good time. It is a good idea to have the characters, at least, have some sort of common goal over and above anything else that they disagree or that they have conflict over, right? So there should be something else, right? Something much more important that everyone is focused upon, whether it be raiding the vault or completing the dungeon or overthrowing the evil king or whatever else. Something that dwarfs all their other issues that they might have with each other. But a lot of drama, a lot of story and involvement can come from conflicting character goals beneath that. If you look at something like Firefly, for example, characters have their own separate motivations and so on, but they all want to survive and prosper from whatever scenario is going on in the moment. And sometimes their goals conflict, and that's okay, because there is the overarching requirement. And this bouncing off each other and disagreeing about how to do things is where a lot of the banter and so on comes from. But you have to have that overriding concern that everyone is worried about. That just has to be there for that to work. I think setting is important, or subsetting, perhaps. If you do a D&D game and you explicitly say this is going to be based around the machinations between the different lords of Waterdeep or whatever, and you maybe work for different lords, but the good of the city is your overriding concern, that can work. Some settings like Vampire positively encourage people to have different and conflicting goals and so on. So it's important to have everyone going into the game with the understanding that there might be some intra-party conflict, and that you as the games master are fine with that. You want to encourage that, but you don't want it to destroy the game. Tell people explicitly that I want you to clash and to disagree, but I want you to, at the end of the day, come to some kind of conclusion and be willing to back down or be overridden, or to have your plans foiled without leaving the game. This is meant to be part of the fun of it, right? So set expectations, play a game where that is explicitly the goal, and it's part of the kind of story that game emulates, because it hits different, right? Cyberpunk or Shadowrun, you're going to get screwed over by the corporation that you take the jobs from, but you still take the jobs, right? And maybe you double or triple cross them in return, but that's an NPC, right? And it's heavily expected. When it's another player who screws you over, it hits different. This is, I would suggest, advanced play, and I would also suggest that intra-party conflict should be over moral questions, ethical questions, and it shouldn't be, oh well, I'm going to murder the other character in the group, or I'm going to steal from the other character in the group. That's low IQ, low tier sort of behaviour from a player, right? Or even if that's what my character would do. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, there are arguments to be made for role-playing purity, but we're here for everybody to have fun, and that means everybody needs to compromise to one degree or another in how they approach the game. So yeah, expectations, setting, and keep a close eye on things as a games master, and check in with people as you go along.